let's talk about a piece that you're going to, a piece that I think is really, really important to your business, and that's developing a 1-3-5, right? I'm going to talk a little bit about it today, and I'll show you because I have an example right behind me. Okay, this is a 1-3-5 that I was using for a class I was doing, and the 1-3-5 the way it fits in is it's an action plan. It's developing an action plan. You'll be hearing about this, in the business planning process. But if you look at what I have here, it's one. I'm gonna supersize myself because so I can make sure I'm doing it correctly. One. Pin me. All right, there we go. Okay, now I can see it. One major business objective, 3 goals in achieving that objective, and then 5 strategies to move that goal forward. We want to quantify as much as possible. So look at that top line. In this example, the person wanted to make $100,000. Okay, and to make $100,000, they need to sell 6 units at $750,000 each. That's how you'll get there, right? Because $100,000 is equivalent to $4 million worth of sales. Does that make sense? See how I broke that down? So when developing your goal, this is the financial goal, we want to figure out how much do we have to sell to achieve that goal, right? $100,000, 2.5% is the average sale price. You have to sell $4 million worth of product to get to that $100,000, right? Because it's $25,000, a million that you will receive in gross commission. So here this person, their average sale price is $750. So we're going to divide that $750 into that $4 million, or actually we'll take into that $4 million, and that becomes 6 units. All right. Now, the first thing, let's look at the goals, right? And the goals are, in this particular example, is your sphere, farming, and social media. That's what this person wanted to do. And so everyone should start with their sphere. That's the people you know and who know you. Number one, front and foremost. You want to quantify what your sphere, an expectation of what your sphere will produce for you in any given year, right? What part of that $100,000 is my sphere going to produce? In this particular case, it was, 70, I think it's 75%, 4 out of 6 units, right? Or $60,000. It would be 60%. I'm sorry. That's the way math works. It's simpler than it looks. So 60% of $100,000 is $60,000. And how many units that it would equate to is 4 of the 6 units necessary. So what we're saying in that is that I'm going to get 4 sales from my sphere of influence, which will add up to $60,000. Okay. And then the question is, let me back up from that. How am I going to stay connected and of value with those particular clients in my sphere? Friends, family, associates, acquaintances, whatever they are. They're people who know you and who you're going to make sure know what you do. All right. the services that you provide and the help that you can be. So here as we look at it, we could see that this particular person has committed to doing three emails a month. One of them is going to be a newsletter. They're going to make 10 calls daily. That's 50 calls a week, right? They're going to have 2 client events a year, client appreciation events. They're going to send 3 handwritten cards or notes, holiday, birthday, and thinking about you type note. And then they're going to do 5 texts daily. Okay, emailing, calling, events, cards, text. This is just to the people who know them and that they know that are in their sphere, right? This is about filling the space between those physical interactions. This is about being present in people's lives, saying, how can I help? Some of these things you could see, some of these things have a P and some of these things have an M next to the number. That is the difference between prospecting and marketing. And the difference between prospecting and marketing is you push the information out into the universe and you wait for a response. Prospecting is you are purposeful in going up and either being in people's physical presence or texting or calling, right? It's having a two-way conversation. I guess you can have that in the DMs also. Anywhere, it's about having a two-way conversation. It's not about leaving writing something on somebody's post, right? It's not sending somebody an email. That's not prospecting. In this particular case, calling is prospecting, and I have texting as prospecting, and I have client appreciation events as prospecting, right? That's a nice blend of prospecting and marketing. Marketing, you're sending a holiday card, you send that out and wait for a response. You know, the newsletters, the emails that you send that out, you wait for a response. The most effective, direct way to opportunity or uncovering opportunity is through prospecting. You guys understand that? All right, I'll take that as a yes. And the more defined you can be with these activities and the quantities of them, the more successful you will be. So now I'm going to tell you, I'm going to make some like generalized statements about making these goals and setting down this plan. Number one is the goal. Anybody who was at the business planning clinic yesterday, you heard me speak about unreasonable goals and unrealistic goals. I want you to be unreasonable with your goal setting, which means I want you to stretch those goals to a place where there's discomfort. I don't want you to set an unrealistic goal. That is a goal that you will find very, very easy to discard. It's a goal that you will easily be able to say, you know, I never expected to accomplish that anyway, right? So you want that stretch goal. You want to be stretching till December 31st. You want to be reaching till December 31st, right? And it's the same with the activities. Choose activities that you will do and the frequency to which you will do them. I'd rather you set lower goals and accomplish them than higher goals and discard them. It's human nature, right? Also you need to, you're building a muscle to be able to accomplish these goals on a daily, to sustain them over time, day in and day out, and month in or month out, year in, year out. You're building a business that you want to sustain for years to come. So you want to start with a good plan. You want to start with a plan that is executable also. And it's not, I don't want you to set a low bar. That's not what I'm asking you to do. I'm asking you to be honest with yourself and choose activities and the frequency of those activities that you will do. That's doable for you right now. All right, does that make sense? Okay. All right. Well,
Yeah.
again, I'll assume that's a yes.
Yeah.
All right. So quantify, define, because this now gets moved into your calendar. It now becomes a part of your daily activity. You wake up, you open up your business, you look at your calendar. This is the time I'm sending out emails. This is the time I'm making my calls. This is the time I'm planning for, my client appreciation, writing cards and texting. Okay. This is an example. If there's some way of communication that you have with your sphere that is not on here, please discard the one you don't want and put the one you do want. If you're committed to having a dinner party once a week with 10 people from your sphere, that should be on here, okay? If you're committed to doing a home tour with one person from your tour, when I say home tour, I don't mean that they're looking for anything. I'm just saying a historical home tour once a year, or the Easter or an Easter event, or a Halloween event, or sponsor a pool day at the local pool for kids. Whatever it is that you do, and whatever the realm is that you communicate with your sphere on, by all means, it should be in your plan. Does anybody have any questions about the sphere plan?
Hey Joey,
Andrew.
that's a quick question about it. Kind of just like in general is, just like for example for myself, because like I haven't done like the realtor course yet, or done the coaching yet, so I know I can't like in theory like sell yet, or like in practice yet. So I guess like my question is, I've been putting together my contact list and trying to be strategic as I can about it, and I guess my question is, like, when do you think is the kind of like appropriate time to start reaching out to people? Like, is it right now and just kind of like a soft opening, or is it better to wait until like you're really able to? Because like I guess my
I have some ideas.
yeah.
When do I pull the trigger? Number one is, Andrew, it's never too soon to develop a plan, right? But it's when can I start executing on that plan is a whole different story. You need to be a licensed realtor, so that's when you're going to be executing on that plan. But you can start developing a brand awareness in this in real estate. And I would say start using social media and integrate the visual vernacular of appreciation, passion for real estate. Not in a statistical way, but in a more lifestyle driven way. It needs to reflect you, of course, right? It absolutely needs to reflect you and who you are. But whatever your lens of looking at real estate and what you find exciting and you're attracted to share that with people so that they start getting a visual assimilation of you in real estate, so that when you do come out with guns a-blazing, that no one's surprised that you are interested in real estate, right? It could be subliminal, it could be, it could be noticed. But the point is that you want to start using the visual vernacular in all of your social media. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that definitely makes sense. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, and it'll start helping you. People are watching.
Joey,
Right.
I have a question.
Sure.
So I have someone in my sphere of influence. It's actually one of my friends, and she's going to be a first-time home buyer. Obviously, I'm still in like the training and whatnot,
Sure.
but she does want to touch base this weekend, and she's starting to look. So how do I address that?
Sure. So number
Like-
one is make sure you're participating in the mentoring and coaching, value proposition, because that's who you will need along the way, right? So I would, reach out to Rob and bring him into the
Yeah.
conversation for sure.
Okay.
Where you start is preparing your client for the purchase, right?
Yeah.
And that starts in the financial end. I say I want to buy a home. What do I need to do that? What do I need to have in place? What to accomplish that goal, right? The first part is understanding what your buying power is, Nara, right?
Mhm.
And so you would connect her. I would connect her with Andy. If you have another real lending relationship, you can connect them with them. Andy's really great with first-time home buyers. She can get the information that she needs to give an educated estimate of how much your friend can afford to buy.
Okay.
Because right now, you're going food shopping you can look at all the food you like. You can put it all in your cart, but unless you have the financial wherewithal, you can't purchase it. So
Right.
get that, and looking at the properties is fun, right? That's the fun part.
Yeah, she gave me like a relative location of where she wants a home, but then I was just like, do you have anything in mind, like bedrooms, baths, square footage? And she's just like, no.
All right.
And I'm like, okay, well,
Yeah, and so that's an easier conversation while you're waiting for the estimate, right? Of how much you can, like, what's the area she'd like to be in?
she wants it starting from Pasadena, ending up to Sunland along that freeway. I'm not sure what it is. She literally took the map and drew a little squiggle on where she
Sure.
wanted it. I can start an email with you and Rob later.
Yeah.
And I'll loop you guys in. I don't want to take up too much time on this.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I'll do that.
But connect her with a lender, because she
Okay.
needs to understand her buying power. Does she have
Yeah,
a
I don't
lender
think she-
already?
No, she literally doesn't know anything. I was just like, do you have an idea what loan you want to
Okay.
take out?
Yeah.
Yeah, no clue.
Start with the lender. If she
Okay,
makes it
I'll do
past that, then you can really get into the fun stuff,
Okay.
because the lender is where the rubber meets the road.
Yeah.
She might find out she can afford more than she thought she could afford. She can find out she has less. She can find out that if she does this, then she can be in a better buying position. If she does this and this, she can get in an even better buying position. So it's about strategizing on strategizing on the financial piece first, right?
Yeah.
If you're going hunting, you don't go out and look for what to hunt before without a gun, right? And I hate to use that metaphor, it's not right. But you understand, like, it's the
Right,
tool to get what you want, right? You can't do it without it. So that's why I would get her started in that conversation.
Okay.
Do
Thank you.
you know, you've been on the, I know you're new, but you have been on the, oh, I'll get it out in a second. The team meeting, right? You saw,
Yeah,
you
I
saw
missed
Andy,
this
right?
one this
Yeah,
weekend, or I missed the one today.
right.
But yes, I saw
Yeah.
Andy.
You know who
Um,
Andy is. So,
yeah.
if you don't have anybody, I would highly, even if you have somebody, I highly recommend Andy.
Okay.
She really, she's responsive and she has great bedside manner and she'll give it to you. She'll give it to you straight.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Thank you.
My pleasure. Anybody else have any questions about the sphere part of this, this conversation? And how this is about systematic connection with the people you know and who know you. And then the next two are, how do I get more people into that section, right? Into that sphere. How do I grow my sphere so I can put them on this plan? Oh, wrong way. So I can put them on this plan, right? Does that make sense? For me, I need things to be linear. So I'm hoping that it makes as much sense to you as it does to me. So in this particular example, the farming is the next goal, right? And we haven't quantified farming, but for the sake of this example, it's farm. We're going to take what the amount of units that are left, and we're going to split them between. So that's one deal for farming is my expectation, and one deal for social media is my expectation at $20,000 a piece, right? So in this, and so here's our plan. We're going to be door knocking once a week, 50 doors at time, right? You know, what you would do before you get to this part is you would determine what are the geographic areas you would like to farm. I would say if you're going to do a geographic farm, please do not do more than 500 at the most. I'd say you start with 300 to 500 houses, and that's quite enough. So you have 500 houses, and you're going to be doing 50 of those a week. That means every 10 weeks, you will be showing up on the doorstep again. Does that make sense? And again, the goal is not, hey, Dean, I'm here to see if I'm a realtor. Do you need to buy or sell real estate? That's not the conversation. The conversation is, hi, my name's Joey Sacavitch. I'm a neighbor and a realtor, and I'm looking to start a relationship with you where I can help in any way possible, right? Today's the first day of our relationship. How can I help you, right? And you'll get some people who giggle. That's my thing. Be authentic to you and whatever it is. But the goal is to be able to start that relationship with them, right? Is to be able to come back the next time and kind of remember what the name of their dog was, and and if they were, cranky or not cranky, if they were gardeners, if they were, if they liked the local association, if they had any questions. You want to be a resource for them. You're trying to do the same thing with them that you are doing with your sphere. You have to move them from that not met to met category. And that means that to do that, they need to know who you are and what you do. And there has to be a two-way conversation on that, right? It's not dropping off a flyer is not. It's telling them who you are and what you do. It's not, there's no acknowledgement of that discourse. So door knocking once a week, 50 doors. So you're going to be in a cycle. That's every 10 weeks. So at that rate, you're talking about 4 or 5 times a year that you're going through that cycle with them. Sometimes they'll be home, sometimes they won't be home. Sometimes you'll never get a person on the other door for the whole year, right? And they work, whatever. When it comes to the time of day to door knock, it's really, you know, some people like to do it around just before dinner time. Some people like to do it in the morning. I'd say whichever time you do it, you just do it consistently. Sooner or later, you will hit somebody, right? And then, you know, having this person wants to do 2 events per year, right? And so an event in a farm could be a food drive, shred events, puppy portraits I have on there. There could be, it could go on forever. If you love something, do it, right? And that's how you get to meet people. When you give people what they want, they pay attention, right? It's statistics, you know, a piece of paper with the statistics of the most recent sales in the area. I don't know how compelling that is. It's a very small group, but you're doing a food drive. I used to do food drives when I door knocked, and we would put down 500 bags. Trader Joe's gives you bags. They'll give you 500 bags for free. If you tell them you're doing a food drive, you staple like an instructional piece on the front, piece of paper, and you drop, you know, the 500 bags, and on the instructional piece it says, hey, these are the foods we're looking for. We're going to give them to LA Food Bank. These are the foods we're looking for. If you have, we're going to be picking them up on Saturday morning, between Saturday the 21st, between 9 a.m. and 12 noon. Okay. And just leave them on your doorstep and we'll come back and take them off, right? So you do that to put down 500, and we did it every year. We did it. We got 100 bags. 1/5 of them, 20%, actually left something, and they were grateful for us to do it. We, you know, whoever left a card, whoever left a bag, we would leave a card of gratitude and you know, a little postcard that we made up with, you know, to thank them and to, you know, some inspirational quote of some sort. Hardly ever about real estate, but we're not there to sell real estate. We're there to build a relationship. And I have to argue that doing a food drive was a great way to build a relationship, right? But that's not enough either. So you're door knocking once every 10 weeks. You are you're also having these events once or twice a year. Neighborhood association. If you're doing farming, I would show up at the neighborhood association. I would implore you to even step up in that conversation, right? Meaning get on the board. If you got to be there, you might as well be in a position of influence, right? This person's going to do postcards and they're going to drop off a newsletter once a month, right? So now we have an experience for our potential clients to move over. And then, does anybody have any questions about farming? In this particular case, it's geographic farming. It could be demographic farming, right? Okay, no questions. All right, and we'll move on to the last one, which in this particular example, social media. You choose these other two, okay? Whatever it is that whatever it is that you will do, please keep it simple. You want to absolutely nail the sphere before anything else. You want to know and you want to get executing on the sphere before you move on to inviting anybody else to the party. But whatever the source is for you to get more people in, these are just two examples, right? Farming social media. It could be door knocking. I was going to say that one more time. It could be networking. It could be alumni. It could be using internet leads. It could be it could go on forever. What else? Calling expires and withdrawals, FSBOs, short sale, distressed properties, whatever your goal is here. Did you have, Damaso, did you have a question?
No. Okay.
Okay. All right. And then, so the last one, this person wanted to use social media. And it's not enough just to, post. That's not what the goal of social media business building is. You're never going to find opportunities in just posting. I shouldn't say that, because you may, if you post correctly. People are watching, right? I just talked to actually a couple agents helping them with their business plans. And they're like, oh yeah, like somebody I went to high school with called me out of the blue because she saw my social media, right? But purposeful social media, that's, I like what I get. I didn't work for it, right? You have to work for what you want. Whatever comes your way, you want to make the best of the opportunity, but you have to work for what you want. And so this person wanted to be purposeful in the realm of social media. So it's posting 4 times a week, right? 3 static posts and 1 video post, right? Drag 2 people into the DMs daily. Okay, that goes to go down to 4. The 4 is my is my purposeful plan for interacting with your sphere on social media. And that's 20 minutes. It's called 20-10-5-1. 20 minutes a day between the hours of 7 and 9 a.m. or p.m. They're the 2 hot time periods. You want to do 10 comments, right? Ask 5 questions and drive to 1 meeting. Okay. When you're having these conversations with people, right? You want to make sure you're asking a question, they answer the question. You want to acknowledge that they answer the question. You made a comment. They responded to your comment. You want to acknowledge that. If you're on social media and people are commenting in time, drag them into the DMs. Drag them into a private conversation. Don't have the conversation out front, because you want to be able to say, I was just thinking about you. We should have coffee to catch up, so on and so forth. You want to start having a more intimate conversation with them in direct messaging. So it's dragging 2 people into the DMs daily. Also vlog/blog once a week. And you could use the same video for your social media post, and kind of break down your blog for that week and use it in your video post. And you want to cross collateralize between those two, between vlogging/blogging and your post, promoting each. And then the last on here is their commitment for a budget for social media ads, and their budget here was $100 a month, which in social media goes further than you might expect. So that's if you get this plan in place, then you move it into your calendar. And you're with this plan alone, you're probably talking to, 10 to 20 people a day, right? Relationship building. And in that, conversations of real estate will come up. So does that make sense? Questions?
I have a question.
Come on.
Where did you get the 7 to 9 a.m. to 7 to 9 p.m.? Isn't it based on like your followers, the time to post?
7 to 9 a.m. and 7 to 9 p.m. are the most active social media times
As a whole.
as a whole. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then I have
Yeah,
another
it's
question. Sorry.
when people spend the most time on there. So, of course,
Okay.
there's always exceptions, but
And then my second question is, at the moment, where can I be generating content to post? Like,
hold on a second. Say that one more time.
where can I be generating content to post at the moment if I'm in trading? Like, because I want to use TikTok because that's
Okay.
doing really well right now.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I'm addicted to TikTok.
Me too.
Yeah.
So where can I be gathering that from? Like open houses?
What was that? For some reason, I can't hear very well.
Sorry.
What was the question? What was your question in that about TikTok? Where do you find content?
Yeah. Where can I start pulling content from if I'm in training?
You're creating content. So it's and you're creating content to build your brand.
Yeah.
And so what is the imagery and conversation you want to surround yourself with to reflect your brand? So Nara, the first thing I would do, I would go out and I would start to do research. What are successful people doing, right? Who gave me Eileen Gill, I think gave me. All right. Let me see. I think Eileen sent. There were a couple people who were doing some interesting stuff, but of course, I can't tell you who they are right now. No. No, art gallery. All right. Do your research, Nara, and look at what people are doing. And then come back, let's have a conversation about it. I think that it's not just about showing a pretty house. Sometimes it is about showing a pretty house. It is about first-time home buyers. Is it about is it about the lending process? It's maybe you take people on this journey with you of discovering the information about this job, right? You're learning about lending. You're learning, today in the office meeting, you'll get a copy of it. Usually, Andy, the conforming rate changed today, which means that, well, it's a little more involved conversation. Mortgage-backed government-backed loans. The government will back loans up to a certain price, and in every area it's a little different. In every county, Los Angeles is one of the highest in the country, and those loans have an easier criteria for lower down payments, right? You can put 5 or 10% down, so now our new conforming loan rate in Los Angeles is now $970,000, which means that you can buy a $1.2 million property, right? $1.2 million property with like 10% down. It's crazy. Right, or $1.1 million property with 10% down. Yeah,
Oh, wow.
yeah. And so, it's just little information like that you pick up along the way. Sometimes you tell the story, sometimes you get somebody else to tell the story, but you develop a brand that is delivering information in that way. Is that helpful?
Thank you.
Yeah, TikTok's, I'm obsessed. It's
Me
fun.
too. I can't go on it anymore.
I know. I wake up, it's the first thing I look at when I wake up. It's kind of fun. What else, what other, so, that's my little, hopefully that was somewhat educational. We'll get into the 135 even in more depth in the business planning clinic, and I'll be talking about a lot, a lot over the years. Is there any other questions I can help you guys with while you have me?
Hey, Joey, just going back to just like the social media, just like the idea of kind of like what you were saying and kind of like putting in organically some posts about real estate so that people aren't like surprised.
Yeah.
Is that like, not to just be like too obvious, but is it a situation where like, could you post like a tasteful photo of like, interesting architecture just in your neighborhood or something, and then
That's
just
exactly what you should be doing.
present it in a way where you're like, you're not saying you're selling it, you're not saying it's yours, you're just saying, I'm appreciating this architecture.
On my walk today.
Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely
Okay.
exactly what you should be doing, Andrew.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
Thank you.
My pleasure. Anybody else, any questions I can help you with? I have a lot of
Kind of random, but who would I email to get a copy of the team meeting recording?
Oh,
If I missed
it should come. Brenda, are you receiving the daily update?
Yeah, so it's just in my email.
It should come with it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's in your email. Exactly.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I think they post them to YouTube. I could be wrong, but on our KW Larchmont YouTube channel. Yeah, I do, because when I watch YouTube at home on my TV, it comes up because it knows me. So if you also go to KW Larchmont YouTube channel, it should be on there. I don't know when they usually do it the same day.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, no problem. Anyone else that I can help? All right, guys. So if you thank you. Come in tomorrow. It's Rob's teaching the class that I thought I was teaching, and he'll be teaching that from 12 to 1:15, I think it is, right? You guys have a good night.
Thank you. You as well.
You will.
Thanks, Joey.
Bye, guys.